Shabbat Shalom. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to come to you and I want to ask you to look down on this world and send mercy and love to your children. This world is so disgusting right now. I can't even begin to explain. But God, as we go into this live, I want you to guide my mouth, guide my words, to guide my thoughts. Let me speak what you want me to speak. Let me say what you need me to say. There's so many things happening. And it is so easy for us to get caught up in our feelings and our emotions. So I'm just asking you, God, I'm asking you to guide and lead this conversation tonight. And Lord, if there's anyone listening who needs you, I pray that they find you. I pray that they find you. It has been said that for those who take one step to you, you'll take two steps towards them. There are so many people that are in need right now. There's so much pain in this world. And I thank you, God, for guiding me. And I thank you, God, for keeping your hand on me. I thank you for protecting me, my mind, my body, my spirit, my soul. I thank you, God, for leading my way. And thank you for being the head of this platform, because everything that we do to bring honor and glory to what it is that you want. Let the meditation of my heart, let it be felt throughout the world. In your son Yeshua's name, Asher. Hello, can anyone hear me? Am I heard out there?
Yeah.
Okay. You all right?
Yep.
I hope that everyone was able to be able to be with me in that prayer. In my personal opinion, the world is gone bat crap crazy. I'm gonna watch my mouth because I just got finished praying, and the Sabbath just rolled in. Um, oh my God, yeah, it's a little crazy right now. How you doing? What's going on, Set in the West?
I'm good. I'm good. No complaints.
No,
Oh, now, y'all hit the like button. We're just
salute,
getting started. We're just getting
salute.
started. Y'all hit the like button.
It is Nipsey Hussle's born day. It was an interesting day today. Hey, LA chick, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. So, question. Is there going to be a part two of the scavenger hunt for the elusive
No,
Nipsey
No, it
Hussle.
ain't.
Hmm.
Nah. But those who want to reach out, and I'm gonna see if I can go get some from the metro station, and yeah, because I think they're gonna restock, but it looks like that was it. Like that's it. That was it. Cold part about them, they had him at the job at KBLA. I didn't go.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's all good. No part two.
okay.
I'm pissed though. I'm pissed, and y'all know why. Y'all can check out the video, and I mean, if you know, you know. But anyway, what's up?
Well, it's time for an update on what's going on with the Hadleys and the case.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was looking at it.
but there are a few other things that have been happening and a couple of things that need to be addressed. The one thing that I can say that I hate about social media, and the one thing that I really, really, really do not like about, you know, the content creating game to a certain extent is that something happens, people run out there, people tell a story, people create a narrative, then someone else creates an alternate narrative, and then before all of the facts are able to come into fruition, we have 80 million stories. Then we have a bunch of backtracks. Then we have a bunch of self-righteous people who know everything, who can say everything, and whoop de whoop, yada yada yada. And honestly, to me, it makes it's all a big mess. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like TMZ, they seem to be able to just grab every kind of surveillance video known to man. And this is the thing. Usually they get it first. Usually it's out there. I mean, it's immediate. It's right away. The Shakari Richardson thing, they were all over that. You know,
And do you know why they're able to get everything first?
why?
They have, I'll just say allegedly, they have all kinds of snitches all throughout police departments, sheriff's departments all throughout the country, and
Hmm.
maybe even overseas, allegedly. So the way crimes are reported for the most part is through the police departments, through the sheriff's department. So they're like first, and they have people within departments. I know, well, let's say allegedly, I know that they have people within police departments, especially LAPD. And we could talk further about even that Diddy situation with Kid Cudi car, and all of a sudden the evidence is what happened, or it was gone,
Gone.
it just walked away. I don't know. Somebody ate it. I don't know. But
Did the dog
that should
eat
let
it
you know.
with the police
Probably.
report?
Probably, but that should let you
Hmm.
know the level of sophistication and snitches that they have, working with them. And they break bread allegedly. They break bread to particular police officers allegedly by, if you got something nice to say, they gonna be like, whatever, whatever. But if you got some salacious stuff, oh,
They want the dirt.
kind of like some of these content creators that be buy me coffee. These content creators who be y'all just as dirty. And let me not
Hmm.
call them content creators, content critter trolls. Peep game too. You know how
Wow.
I hate to bring it up, but the 5150 situation, shout out to Corey Holcomb.
Hmm.
So Ari Spears was on there, and he was on with Zoe Williams back when Zoe Williams was on back in the day. And and
Yeah.
and Zoe Williams put the brakes on him. Now, guess what?
What?
If you saw it live, you saw it, and then it just cut. You saw Zoe say, shut the fuck up, whoop, whoop, whoop. And
Oh,
then, yeah, and then he said, you got, Ari was making all kind of light skin jokes. The light skin, calling him the light skin, and yeah, I'm light skin. Joe was like, I'm light skin. I'll your ass. And then then he's like, you got one more chance. And then he was saying something. Ari was saying something, and then just Joe just got it, right? And then
welcome to Jag Nation, Sylvia. We have a new member. I'm
salute
listening.
Sylvia. There you go. I appreciate you. But look, it just cut. If you were watching the live, it just cut and it was black for a minute or whatever, then I think they re-edited or something. And they came back and it was like, yo, something crazy happened, blah blah. But they didn't say it on air.
Mm.
The actual boo boo boo. Guess who got it? Because
Cool.
it was on the live, but it wasn't. It like So like if we're live right now, if we want to cut something, we can go into the editor and cut, or we could just
Right.
you cut it before. But guess who got the boo 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 boo?
TMZ.
TMZ.
Oh wow. They
It's
get
amazing.
everything.
It's amazing. And they cut that. They cut it. I
Hmm.
think somebody must have recorded it and had it like on the DVR. I don't know, but it's YouTube. So, but they cut it and they will.
Listen
So, because
to me.
that's
People are screen recording on this app
yeah,
all the time. They
yeah.
are. I think they pay people to just sit around and screen record.
There
Honestly, I
you go.
do.
There you
It's
go. And they've
starting to look
always
that way
been.
and feel that way.
I think Harvey got something against Corey, just like they got something against you.
Well,
That's what I think.
everybody has something against me for whatever reason. Well, not everybody. I mean, some people don't. Some people
Mm-mm.
do. You want to
Don't
know
fall. Don't
what's?
don't go with all that. It's not everybody.
I know
It's
it's
just
not
certain
everybody.
individuals.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's usually the people who are mad that I'm waking certain things up or pointing out certain things or making certain things obvious, things that they support. It's wild when I look at all of the people that have been supporting Diddy and praying that he gets released, and all of the people that have been supporting Rock Nation and everything that they got going on. Prayers up for Tory Lanez. Apparently, his new bid to get a new trial, one of the motions was denied. A motion to receive new evidence, a writ for habeas corpus after everything that he went through. And I
Wow.
don't understand why. It's getting to the point where it's starting to become obvious that allegedly all of these courthouses are bought and paid for. Like it's just starting to become way too obvious. Whoever has the most money gets justice to look the way they want it to look. There are so many.
Corey needs to
There's
take
so.
it.
Whew,
Corey needs to take it to the Supreme Court. Not to cut you off. This is unjust. This is. Mm-mm-mm.
I don't think he has a choice. I don't think they have a choice. And I know that his father is I know that his father is probably a little overwhelmed, and I know that he's fighting a good fight, and I know that he's believing in God, but he's going to have to find another gear to this whole thing because it's just gotten to the point now where they're playing in everyone's face. They're playing in everyone's face. They're making it very clear that they have enough money to throw at the law and that the law is thirsty enough to pick it up allegedly. Like it's just becoming that obvious. And now we have another situation. TMZ, Johnny on the spot. They have made sure that the whole world has seen T Hood in all of his glory. DVing his girlfriend, Kelsey Frost. And now everyone is talking about, good job taking out the trash and good, like there's a lot going on there. And I saw some of the footage. I haven't really watched it all. Um, what I'm not understanding is there was a camera in the bedroom filming all of this stuff that's been going on for months. The place was a crime scene, and you're telling me that the detectives didn't grab the camera? They didn't grab the camera. They didn't ask about what was on the camera. There are things that I have an issue with. As it stands right now in the video, it's extremely disturbing. And man, oh man, oh man, there is no excuse for one human being to be that brutal with another. There's no excuse for that. Honestly, it was very triggering because I had abusive relationships in my younger life. I know what it's like to be involved with someone who you're in an intimate relationship with who just attacks you. I I dated a couple of guys like that before, the age of 25, and I'm telling you right now, it's vicious. It's vicious. Now they have pictures of injuries. There's a friend that has come forward. I don't understand with all this that was going on. You say that you didn't want, like, I don't understand the friend. You didn't want to come forward and disgrace anybody. You didn't want to embarrass anybody. You didn't want to do any of this. You didn't want to do any of that, but you knew all of this was going on. Why didn't you give the evidence to the police? Why did you go to social media? Why didn't you just go straight to the police? Going to the police isn't telling it to the whole world. Why didn't you just take it to the police? If you were that just overwhelmed with what was going on and people were spinning the narrative and it wasn't what it was, and he was a terrible guy and he's been doing this to other women and he did it to another woman and he has a side joint that he did it, why didn't you just take it to the police? And the question is, how did TMZ get it? Because the friend put it out first. And what the friend put out is different than what TMZ put out. I also don't understand 5 wounds, 5 bullet wounds to the back. I don't understand that. There's a lot about that case I don't understand. But what I will say is this: we don't have to make anybody a victim or a villain. Not at all. This case is evidence that this world is going straight to hell in a handbasket. That's, for me, that's the takeaway in all of this. The simple fact that in this day and age, you have multiple young women who are getting involved with a with a violent man. And 9 times out of 10, the reason why they did it was because he was a famous rapper. 9 times out of 10, the reason why they were involved with this guy was because of the money, because of the fame, because of the clout, because of all of that. And then you got this guy who apparently they're saying is doing all kinds of pharmaceuticals, and apparently he was on something new, and whatever else new he was on turned him into a complete demon, and he was this and he was that, and so he was he was DVing another girl in public back in April. And the guys, this is the story that was told. The guys said, "Hey man, don't do that over here. Go and do that somewhere else." They didn't call the police. and have him arrested for doing this to this girl in public. No, no. It was, man, we don't want to see that around here. So go on and do that somewhere else. And the parent, allegedly, the girl said that he said to them, I'll lose my life behind this chick. I'll do whatever I want as I see fit. And he kept acting up. So basically, they sat there watching this dude off of his rocker, doing this stuff to this young woman. They advised him to go and do it to her somewhere else, not to stop, not to call the police, not to have him arrested. No, but then they decided that they going to turn into the Tombstone Gang, and they was going to Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday the situation and put some lead in him. And then he goes to the hospital, and then he goes back with his girlfriend, and he keep like, I'm not understanding. And I understand that the friend who's coming forward now is, and see, it's wild because I had girlfriends when I was younger who were involved with very, very, very DV kind of guys, and there were so many times I wanted to go to the police and report, and they would beg me not to. They would beg me not to, and it was crazy because sometimes I would just stop coming around because I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't watch it anymore. I couldn't stand it anymore. Um, but there are women. What is that? Is
If Adam and Eve had DoorDash, will we be here eating apples?
Oh my goodness. Really?
Okay, maybe this one's more appropriate then.
Milestone chat. What?
If common
Hey,
sense was
Chrissy.
currency, would America be broke? How about that?
Love y'all so much. So grateful for y'all on break. Okay, dear. Okay, dear. Well, glad that you're here, even if it is on a break. Hey, Auntie Leah. And we didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody, but to salute,
Yeah.
salute to the family. I'm just, I'm thinking about the culture of it all. I'm thinking about the culture of abuse in this country. Um, my mother's mother, my grandmother, I never met her. She passed away in 1967. I was born in 1977. It had been a decade since she had passed when I was born. She passed away. Her old man, Daddy Mac. Years of DV, years of SA, years of all kinds of terrible, terrible, terrible. And then he powed her up on my uncle's birthday when he was turning 6 years old. Like I understand the nature of how this works. I was just telling you the other day about someone, a relative who had unalived her baby daddy, and the nature of how all of that went down. She, 7 years she was gone. I mean, it was a terrible situation. He put a 2x4 to her head and left her for dead. And then when she came to, she reacted. It was terrible. But there's a culture. There's a culture where all of this kind of behavior is tolerated, where all of this kind of behavior. There was something else that the friend said too that kind of bothered me. That there was apparently text messages from her father, Kurt Frost, where he said, "Oh, it's 11:11 somewhere. Salute, salute, Yvonne." Um, but he said that he was no longer getting involved with whatever the situation was because he knew she wasn't going to leave him. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Ellie Chick. Like, a lot of people are demonizing this guy. A lot of people are talking about his family now. Now they want to praise the kids for taking this young man out. And I'm like, There weren't more preventative measures that all of the people who were witnessing all of this happen around could have been done. There wasn't more. There wasn't more. Like, why is it that in our communities we tolerate all of this stuff, we normalize it, and then when it gets to this end, it's oh, good riddance and whoopty whoopty woo and yada 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 when it leaves a trail of pain behind. A trail of pain behind. I I don't know. You want to chime in on this? Because I find that all real suspect that a father would know that his daughter was in a DV situation, and then just say, "Yeah, I'm no longer getting involved because I know she's not gonna leave him." I don't understand.
It
Like, I
sounds
think,
like.
no,
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, 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 no. Please, please step in.
I mean, it sounds like, from what it looked like, it sounds like some foul play. Just because, well, number one, it's like if you want to get away with the M word or unaliving somebody, just make sure it's a black man or a rapper or a black rapper. I mean, a black man rapper. So, um, and then plus he was talking about independence and stuff like that. It sounds real fishy.
There's a
Um,
lot that's
it's
fishy.
fishy.
Keep going.
It's fishy. That's it. No, that's what I was gonna say. It just sounds real fishy just off of what I've heard, and I ain't even dug deep into it. You
I
know,
know, but there, I mean, but there's still, but everyone now is also not talking about the fact that it took hours to call the police to get help after the incident occurred. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's wrong with this whole story. What I will say is this: I do not condone DV in any way, shape, or form. Neither of us do. Um, it is terrible. It destroys families, which corrode neighborhoods, which destroy communities. DV is it is a malignant tumor on any community. It just is, and for it to be tolerated, and then to know that there's pharmaceuticals attached to it, all kinds of stuff is wrong with this story. Heaven, mm,
it's
I
ridiculous.
mean, it's there's a lot wrong there, and it's terrible. It's just terrible because now it's gotten to the point where when you listen to a lot of these terrible stories that are happening in our world, that are happening today, that are happening right now, that are happening all over online, you know, the Shakari Richardson thing, and now apparently people are upset still about that situation. She's not being properly uh reprimanded. Eh, and we haven't really talked a whole lot about that. What she did was wrong. She put the both of them in a bad situation. We have commended the young man for not. What is all of that going on? Is there something else happening?
What do you mean?
Oh no, I hear something else.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm bouncing something down too. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. So even with that situation, there's just too much. It's like the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket, and everybody is just sitting around with their popcorn, commenting and narrating and making videos about it while they're getting paid to do it. I just don't get it. Like DV here, DV there, unaliving here, pow pow, pistola violence over here, this over there. This one's getting away with this. This one's getting away with that. There's new Diddy lawsuits. Tony Busby has 100 more, but this guy ain't guilty. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's all of this stuff that's going on. And everybody wants to get away with their crimes. Everybody wants to point a finger at somebody else. Nobody wants to take responsibility. There's no accountability for how things get this bad. It's just um I don't know. I don't know. I don't mm. Hmm. It just kind of reminds me when Grace would always say God was weeping in Genesis and asking what was he going to do about his children because they were off the chain, and that was at the beginning of time, or at least closer to it than we are now. Oh my goodness, it's definitely gaslighting. It's definitely gaslighting. And here it is, it's a Sabbath, and all I can do is say is pray. You know, it's so funny. I look at all of the people that got so many things to say about me. I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed like this week there was an uptick in Jaguar Wright clout chasing, Jaguar Wright smear campaign, Jaguar Wright. Like it was like, okay, we gotta hate on her really heavy this week, so nobody's paying attention to what's actually going on. Like it was
They use your name for the hate train um distraction because
yeah,
there's people they gotta hate. They're developing a hate train against Kyla, um, and they're trying to include you in that because you said they said you said something, but then you did say something, but you only
I
said one
did.
thing, and
One
right,
thing. One
one
thing, I
thing.
didn't talk about that girl. I was not talking about that girl. No different than I wasn't talking about Ali Carter. I swear to God, the second that I say one thing, all of a sudden it just becomes the thing. And why did I say I wasn't saying anything about that girl? Because I saw how they were using her. I saw the agenda they were using her for. It ain't got nothing to do with me having a disdain or a hatred for anyone. It's just pointing out what's obvious that a lot of people don't want to seem to look at, that a lot of people don't want to seem to acknowledge. We we could do a little better with these likes. I think we could use it probably about 100 more. I'd appreciate it. And I know y'all haven't seen my face yet, but the truth is I'm sitting in the dark, so you wouldn't be able to see me anyway. I'm just I don't know. Is anyone else out there as disgusted with the world as I am right now? Like seriously, I really don't understand. I don't. What I will ask is this, and especially the new members. Just because you're a member doesn't mean that we allow people to come through here and derail conversation or do commercials or try to gaslight in any way. Please keep that in mind. We appreciate all new members, but just don't use it as a moment to troll. That's not what these memberships are for. Oh, honey, little fires everywhere, everywhere, and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every day. Oh, I know it's gonna get worse. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. But this is the thing. We still have to be vigilant. And we just have to stay focused on God for real, and what matters in life. We do. I know that there's a lot of people that are upset, at this platform because we refuse to back away from the truth because we're going to move forward and we're going to push forward going after it. You know, there's a culture here on YouTube, and the culture is whatever YouTube will pay you for or greenlight your platform for, that's what you talk about, whether it's right or wrong. Um, and then there's the, controlled opposition culture that happens here on platform where you'll have a large group of people argue about the same topic. One goes one way, the other goes another way. Um, it's definitely prayer time. We need to pray without ceasing because this is crazy. It's all crazy. You want to know what else is crazy? The more I had these lawsuits, it's getting even crazier. Do you want to chime in on that, Wolfgang? Maybe you can help
Well,
us with the
I
update.
mean, yeah, if you're ready to get in on that, I mean, it's pretty much a matter of which angle do we you know attack it, because essentially I don't know how to say it. I mean, this is just so absurd. Well, everyone knows that Demore Hadley is going up against Desiree Perez from Rock Nation,
Mm-hmm.
Iconic Creative,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Daniel Barber,
Mm-hmm.
Natalie Anderson or Natalie Love. She's
Mm-hmm.
also going up against Sig9, the
Mm-hmm.
company that uh, hired some individuals. Oh no, I'm sorry. The company that James Fondo, Steve Caddy, and Jessica Caddy are co-owner of.
Who
She's
helped
also going
set
up.
up the whole what I would prefer to call alleged unlawful detainment on Dania
Yeah,
Beach
yep,
to have Demore committed into a mental hospital.
yeah.
Hmm.
She's also going up against South Broward Hospital District, Odyssey Behavioral Healthcare, Life Skills South Florida Outpatient. She's also taking this case to the, well, she's plaintiff against the Broward
The
County
pol-
Sheriff's Office,
yeah, the police as well, who were there, who helped facilitate it.
and also Rachel Bernstein and CTS Research. She's going
Mm-hmm.
up. I mean, the first one already is like the first person. What? And then you're including uh, Sig9 and James Fondo, who used to work for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He used to work for the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
So you got Rock Nation, you got the NFL, you got
Broward
Broward County
Sheriff.
Sheriffs,
Mm-hmm.
you
Broward
got
Sheriffs.
Odyssey Healthcare, you got all this evidence, you got all this information, you got them by the nuts because it's all been recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, GPS, they've used GPS, they've done a lot of illegal tracking, and there was a motion to leave out the body worn camera footage
Hmm.
in the case. There was a motion. Someone named Desiree Perez wanted all that evidence to be struck. Like, no, you can't use this. I no, you
Pause.
can't use public official recordings.
Pause. I need y'all to hear, and I want to make sure you heard what was just said. Desiree Perez has just put in a motion to exclude all of the body camera footage that we showed you guys in the Defending Your Freedom series. Now she wants all of that Strike it from the record. So can't nobody see it, can't nobody watch it. So it can't be on court. So they can take it and they can say if any of it that's online it has to be taken down, otherwise it's contempt, whoopty whoopty woo, and yada 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 yada.
And the reasoning, it says is no good cause, and her prior filings undermine her current position. So it says Demore offers no legitimate justification for filing the footage at this late stage. She does not claim the footage um, was unavailable when she filed the amended complaint. To the
What?
contrary, like they're grasping for straws. See, if they let this go, man, like I said, yeah, y'all already know I was pissed off about that nip shit man. I ain't even, man. Let me shut up. Go ahead, Jack. Get it.
I want y'all to really think about what we're talking about here, and we could use 100 more likes. I want y'all to really think about what we're talking about. What we're talking about is legally obtained public record footage. I want y'all to think about how many body cam channels are on YouTube. Think about that. They have whole body cam channels here on YouTube. I don't know how many YouTubers I have seen. Yeah, copyright strikes and now motions. I don't know how many YouTubers I've seen stalking each other, trying to humiliate each other, do humiliation rituals online by grabbing other content creators' body cam footage, the whole 9 yards, and using it for content. This is all actual public record. That means anybody can have access to it. But see, this is what they do. This is what they do. This is what these kinds of people do. We'll say alleged criminals. They throw a bunch of money at whatever it is that makes them look like what they are. And then they go to court and fight with the evidence excluded. I want y'all to think about how much real evidence was excluded in the Diddy trial. All the kind of evidence that could have gotten him convicted. I want y'all to think about that. And guess what? Because it was excluded from the trial, now you got content creators out here like Vladimir Lyuski and like all of the other weirdos who are on the Diddy Love Train, the weirdo Sean G's and the weirdo, whatever his name is, I don't know. Just somebody that was obsessed with Tisa for about the past 2 months. I guess he ran out of Tisa content and now he's moved on to other lies. You know, it's amazing to me. It really is. It's amazing to me that people think, you know, I'll never forget early on in my first marriage, back in my 20s, my ex-husband, he was trying to get something expunged off of his record. And so he had gone to Lancaster, to the Lancaster outlets, and stole a bunch of clothes while he was at Temple. And he was arrested for it. His dad was a Mason, and his dad worked with the police. He became police clergy later on. But he was arrested, all of this, all of that. And they worked so hard to get that expunged off of his record. And then the second that it happened, there was another issue that happened. It was a DV situation. And he said, I've never been convicted of a crime. There's nothing on my record. I've never been convicted of a crime. I've never committed a crime. I'm this, I'm that. I've never done this. I've never done that. And I'm sitting there looking like, wow, I watched you. work to get this taken off of your record. You know you stole that stuff. You know you have a record. But this is how it works in the law. As long as you can pay enough money to have evidence excluded or to have it expunged, you can pretend like it never happened. Thank you so much, Hierophant. I'm just, and that's the kind of sense we make in this world. That's the kind of stuff that we have going on here. Um, as long as you can pay to make it go away, it never happened. And now this person is innocent and they're blameless. Yes, that was me, Cat. I sneezed. But I'm serious. It's it's kind of wild. It's kind of crazy. So now this is the new play in the Hadley case. The new play is we're going to hammer them with motion after motion after motion and try to get all of the evidence that we're guilty of everything that we've done excluded. Because, see, there was also another motion that was filed. Dr. Bober did not want to be a part of the lawsuit. He didn't feel as though it was right. But guess what? He's on that body camera footage. See, he's on that body camera footage, sitting there very in a very cocky and entitled manner, talking about how nuts she was and how he was Baker acting her and how he was doing this and how he was doing that. But guess what? If you can get that excluded, if you can force that to not be on the record, then guess what? He can sit there and he can say, "Oh well, everything that I did was of good faith. I didn't do anything wrong." They're all trying to cover their asses. And this is why we put together Defending Your Freedom the way we put it together, because we wanted to make sure that it was understood that not only were they not lying about everything that was going on, that not only were they creating a false narrative. You know, you want to tap in here for a second?
Sure. Yeah. It's I mean, again, that's my thing. This people who don't want to be held accountable, they will go to anything. They'll go to all measures to run from accountability. It's a damn shame. And it's like you were down for it. And I think the reason why Bulber is all of a sudden, yeah, oh, yeah, I'm gonna back him. I'm gonna, he really thought he's gonna get away with it. He really thought he was gonna get away with it. And yeah,
The simple
you
fact that he could make a phone call allegedly asking how mad Demore was, you wouldn't have asked that if you didn't think you did anything wrong. You wouldn't have needed to make a phone call like that allegedly if you didn't think you did anything wrong. Am I wrong?
no,
Why would you need to call allegedly and ask, well, how mad is she at me? Like, why? If everything that you did was lawful, if everything that you did was in good faith, you wouldn't be worried about that at all. It's it's just getting to the point where it's just starting to get so crazy out here in the world that people don't even care about the truth anymore. It's not about what you can prove anymore. It's not about what evidence you have. It's about how much money do you have to make it go away. Like, at no point in time should the Hadley's case be looked at with any confusion or scrutiny. It's there. All of the evidence is there. And they think they're just gonna spend money and make it all go away. They just gonna
Yeah.
pay it away. And what does that say about the American justice system?
Is you can buy it's bought and paid for. How about that? You can buy your way out of
It doesn't matter how awful you are. As long as you got enough money, you can get out of it. What does that say to every other criminal in this world? Tory Lanez deserves a new trial. Period. Rock Nation's throwing a ton of money at that. Ramir deserves to get the answer to his questions. Demore and Javon deserve to live their lives, and they deserve to be compensated for everything. But you got to ask yourself, how is it? It's just the. I think that's the issue that I'm having with so many of these cases that we're seeing. We know we have a clear understanding of how easily the law is corrupted.
hmm
I look at I look at what's happened to me in my life. Just people just make things up. And as long as they got enough money to grease enough palms to get it to go through, there's enough corrupt people in the system, in the judicial, in the police, in the medical. Like that's the thing about Demore's case that's so wild. You got judicial, you you got the police, you got hospitals, you got private investigators. Oh, if it can happen to them, it can happen to anybody. It's just that simple. Like I know they're not even covering it up anymore. They just doing it. They just doing it. And when they get busted, they pay somebody to make it go away. And my thing is it's supposed to be life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How can anybody be happy when their freedoms are totally being obliterated and it's happening right out there in broad daylight in front of everyone's faces and nobody's supposed to care? How does that work? How is any American supposed to feel safe with stuff like this going on? Hmm. You know, they don't go to court until next year, until a year from now. What is it, October of next year?
Yep. hmm
So more than a year from now. And what it's looking like is that they got this thing pushed so far forward so that they can keep hammering and throwing money at this thing, motion after motion after motion after motion after motion. So when it comes time to go to trial, there's nothing there. Even if they don't think they can win, what do? They just push it as far out there possible, just to keep the pressure on. Remember?
Hmm.
Oh, we're not going to be able to charge Javon with anything. None of this stuff is going to stick. Can you just keep them, just to keep the pressure on? And it's sad. It's sad. You did all of this stuff. You willfully did all of this stuff. You enacted all of these things, and now you want to pretend like none of it ever happened because you got busted, because you got caught. I don't know. While everybody was busy running around, jumping in everybody else's business, moving this story around from here to there to here to there to here to there to here to there, moving the goalposts on this situation, creating a lie on this situation, reviving stuff that doesn't matter on this situation, doing distraction here, distract. This is what we're dealing with. Literally watching people try to just destroy justice so that they can get away with their crimes against innocent people. Now we've been here almost an hour. This is kind of ridiculous. We should be at least 250 likes. Come on, let's go. Let's like, because this is insane. We might not have a ton of people in the room tonight, but y'all can hit the like. Come on. We are 50 likes away from 250 likes. Yeah. Like it's just insane. When we think about the fact that the reason why there was no recourse, there was no legal anything taken regarding the booming of Kid Cudi's car being struck with a Molotov cocktail, because the evidence was destroyed and police reports were destroyed. Like, that's all you got to do? Find you a dirty cop and destroy all the evidence, and guess what? It's like it never happened. It's like all of the great survivors who weren't getting justice while offenders were out there in the streets reoffending and reoffending because nobody bothered to check or run the DNA kits. 39. What do you use 39 more likes? All you gotta do is double tap that screen and you can pop out, hit the like and come back, whichever one you choose. We're getting there. I know. Demore has all the evidence, sweetheart. All the evidence. How are the Hadleys supposed to get justice when justice is being denied because the other side has millions upon millions of dollars to throw at this whole thing? We need this platform to pray. That's why, that's part of the reason why we need to keep getting more subscribers. We need to get this platform to 100 plus K. We need that. We need at least 1,000 members because we need you guys to share. We need you guys to show up. We need you guys to keep praying. We need you guys to keep this in conversation because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to wait for people to get bored, and for people to forget about it. And our job is to make sure that that doesn't happen. We're 215 likes. We need at least 35 more to at least get to 250. This is the kind of world we're living in. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. A report dropped yesterday that revealed from 2012 to 2025, 55 of 74 NYPD evaluators weren't licensed. Unqualified people decided who was fit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah, yeah. The lively of the night. Exactly. When I was sitting here saying, like, no, not even credible psych evaluation. Think, ugh. Oh, I know. And meanwhile, you got people running around all over the place, all over social media, talking about this, talking about that, confusing this, confusing that, conflating this, denying that. And the cops are right here on social media, eating it up, lapping it up, putting bad cases on people with faulty evidence, AI evidence, all kinds of crap. The world has gone mad. All right, we're getting there, but we could be doing a lot better on these likes. Like, seriously. We might have a little less than 300 people in the room, but there's absolutely no reason why at least um, 30, 33, you can't hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the light.
So, you know, where next? What do we do next? What do you think, Odell? What do we need to do next?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is yeah, yeah, it's man, I don't know. I really don't know. Because it's like when you say, all right, well, I say organize, but when you say something like, well, write this person, like, I mean, what is it really gonna do? I don't know. That's why I say I don't know.
I mean, there's some people we should be seeing pretty soon. ACG, thank you. Um, there's some people we should be seeing pretty soon that we're definitely gonna have this conversation with because at this point in time, if our government isn't looking at the fact that state government has pretty much just become a joke and that there's a sign out there for all the bad guys to see that says, yeah, you got enough money? We make it go away. Payola in the law, that has to stop. And maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to come up with a petition. Maybe we should start there. Maybe we should start with a petition. There were a couple of petitions we were putting together earlier this year, and it's wild because all of them turned out to be attached to a bunch of fraud this or fraud that. But this is our thing. Justice for the Hadleys is our thing, and it's clean, and it's us. And maybe we need to come up with a petition or something to send to a state legislator or to send to the feds in that area. Like, this is wild. There's no way in the world they should be able. And the thing is let's not even get too carried away. They filed a motion. Just because they filed a motion doesn't mean that the judge is going to grant it. We have to remember that there is a judge in place. So often we hear these lawyers and we hear these pundits and we hear these content creators and we hear these so-called news personalities come up with their own assessment of what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and this, that, and the third and whatever and whoopty whoopty woo. But there are judges in place, and it's just between this and then the other stuff, with the contempt, and
Hmm.
it's like they're trying to intentionally overwhelm them to make them want to give up and go run. But this is what happens when you fight a heavy machine. We're 20 likes away. And like I said, this is just an update. We're not going to be here very long tonight. I know some people think I'm in hiding. That's cute. It's so funny. I remember back in the great gaslighting attempt of my life in 2023, it was always about the content creators baiting me to give them information so that they could find a way to stalk and harass me. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. It's wild, people want to know where I live. Well, then how about you tell me where you live? You go first. You give me your address first. You go ahead and you put it online. Indeed, God said no. Well, Sylvia, what I will say is this: whatever your story may be, whatever anyone's story may be, send an email or leave a message on the website because, like I said, the Hadley story, this is the first story that we're engaging in at this level. There are other stories that we've been looking at. Um, please send it and we can look at it and see what the pecking order is going to be. But right now, we need to figure out how to support this story and how to support these people. You know, this story first dropped in May. It's August. We're talking about 90 days. And in 90 days, they've pretty much almost buried it. And it's insane. Is there anybody talking about this case anymore other than us?
No, no.
And this is the one thing that we vowed to fight against. Even if we are the last ones talking about it, even if this is the only platform that's still talking about it, we're not going to stop because that's what they want. They want everyone to stop talking about it. And they want Javon and Demore to be left alone. 10 more likes, please, would be really appreciated. Thank you. Um, they want them to be left alone. And then they want to just hit them with a bunch of paper until they make them cry uncle or go running for a dark, cold closet. Like that's what they want. And it's the email address is in the description of this video, but it's the Jaguar Wright, thejaguarwright.com. Um, you saw one dude talking about it. Like this, if this case doesn't prove to you how they manipulate the media, because there's no way with all of the evidence, there's no way with everything that is attached. Yes, Asheo, there is no way with everything that is attached to this story. There is no freaking way that this shouldn't be one of the hottest topics of the year. There's just no way. All right, we need 10 more likes. 10 more likes would be great. Um, this level of corruption, this kind of impeding on one's civil liberties and destroying someone's right, this kind of relentless pursuit, the years, the almost decade of surveillance, like all of the stuff that's going on, it's like a lifetime marathon on steroids and crack. It's there's no way. And there have been some people that have talked about it, and for a second there, it was getting kicked around, especially to some larger platforms. It was it, nobody nobody's asking about the updates. Nobody's doing reaction videos. Nobody. And it's funny because the strike war happened and the empire strikes back, and they took channels for a while and they took videos for a while and they did this and they did that, and then everything was reversed, and then boom, the next thing you know, it was like, okay, well, all right, everything's back to normal, we're leaving that alone. Mm. Yeah, respectfully, Xavier, Xavier, yeah, he was one of the content creators that was talking about it, but what happened to the rest of them? Should be more than us and him. Why is nobody doing updates? Why is nobody following up at least once to twice a month? Why is nobody else talking about this? Meanwhile, there's more filings, more emotions, more crap. I tell you what, the longer I talk about this story, the more heat I get on this app. It's like they're going to try to find a way to bury me in bullshit and suppress and diminish me to the point where, you know, People are confused at which channel is mine. We're almost there. Because, like I said, we're not going to be here very long. Hmm. So, guys, I just want to take a quick poll. Well, we definitely have to go to war. We have to fight for this story. We have to fight for this story. They don't go to court until next year. If we were to drop this now, would anybody even remember it 2 months from now? Hmm? Or would it just be, yeah, wasn't there some other Rock Nation lawsuit? Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. I didn't know. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some of the evidence, but who knows? Maybe she was lying. Hmm. Well, if people got paid off not to touch the story, I take that as a compliment. Because what that says is they know there's too much integrity over here because we didn't get offered nothing. We got offered some emails, but that's about it. Come on, y'all. 2 more likes. Stop playing. It's funny. When I don't cam up, the numbers are always low. I guess people are more interested in trying to find a way to stalk me. I mean, ain't nothing special going on with me tonight. I'm literally in the bed. Hmm, I ain't got a lot going on tonight. Not at all. Nope. I'm a whole mammy tonight. Yeah. Me and hiding. I'm hiding because I'm afraid of what I have no idea, but better luck next time. No, seriously, it's just wild. It's wild. Things that people say. I don't know what you got going on, but do you have anything else to offer to this conversation, or should we get ready to wrap it up?
Ah, I really don't. I'm just disgusted. I just disgusted with a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I feel, yeah, I'm just disgusted. Disgusted.
Would you care to share?
No, that's the only thing I can say. I'm
Mm.
disgusted. Ah, man.
Well,
Oh, this is, I mean, injustice is everywhere. The thing is I'm sure justice will be there. Justice will, you know, it's gonna rain. It's gonna do what it do. I don't think nothing crazy is gonna happen. I don't think so, but this is just ridiculous how they stoop to that low. You're busted.
I mean, but that's the thing. See, the only way we get to the point where we're ready to throw up and give our hands and just say, oh, is if we don't believe that God isn't ultimately in control. So many situations in my life where I was ready to just be like, oh. And sometimes I got close and I almost did. But then when I remembered, God he has his own funny sense of humor. Just when the bad guy think he has it all figured out, here comes God.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
know we be wanting things to happen in our time, but I tell you one thing though, if they didn't stoop to these lows, we would have never even thought that they would have. You know, sometimes you gotta let the bad guy act a whole buffoon, and then God makes his move, and then he does what he does. What I do know is that it's Sabbath. For some of us, we're just beginning Sabbath. For some of us, Sabbath is about to end. Whether you're on the beginning or the end, remember to say a prayer for the Hadleys. Say a prayer for the world, like everyone, like all of these terrible, nasty stories that we see, all of the awful thumbnails. Say a prayer. Say a prayer for yourself while you're at it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh without a doubt, without a doubt, God is not playing around. But we have to let things. Sometimes we have to let things, and it's weird and it's unfortunate. But you know, your birthday is tomorrow, Barbara. No. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Barbara. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have many happy returns, you know? If was today, you tomorrow. But seriously though, it's let's remember to pray for each other. Let's remember there's a lot of people that are just in a bad way. But I'll tell you this, if you're in a DV relationship, know that not only will God love you through it, he'll love you away from it, he'll love you out of it. If you're in a pharmaceutical situation where you have been partaking in things that have gotten the best of you, know that God really has the best of you. You can turn to him and he can help you walk away from it. If you're in a bad situation where you've lost control of your emotions and you've lost control of yourself, Mo Gigi birthday too? Well, happy birthday, Mo Gigi. Happy birthday to everyone. Ah, thanks, Michael. On the 17th, my eldest son, God rest his soul, his birthday's coming up next month. Um, his born day, his godmother is August 17th. Hmm. I remember when we were turning 10. Whew, 50 is just a couple years away. Isn't that something? But oh, thank you. You know, remember to say a prayer for everyone, for the world, for yourself. It was wild this morning. It was so crazy. Someone that I know had a great catastrophe, and some of their pets were slaughtered. And I just remember 1111 somewhere, and over here 911 is a joke. But I just it was a sense of just there's so much awful in the world right now. So let's just remember this Sabbath to keep everything in prayer. And you guys will see me soon. We got some stuff to talk about. I'm sure there's always some stuff to talk about, but we just wanted to come and give you this quick update and let you know what the bad guys are up to, or at least who we think the bad guys are. As far as I'm concerned, they are. We definitely know they're cheaters, but just say a prayer. You know, the judge is going to have to look at all of this and see. But the only reason they would write a motion like that is because they're embarrassed. Let's make sure it stays that way. They should be ashamed of themselves. Abuse of power is a terrible thing. So on that note, to a very disgusted, or should I say, from a very disgusted Wolfgang Amadeus and a very prayerful Jaguar Wright. We thank you guys for stopping by. We wanted to let you know what's going on, and we're going to let you know how we're going to proceed. And if you guys got any ideas of how we might be able to help that doesn't have anything to do with harassing the defendants and co-defendants or the judge, you know, just drop down in the comment and let us know. We are a community. Grace is doing good. She's doing good. She is. And you guys are going to hear from her sooner than later. That I promise. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's about it. All right, guys. Shabbat shalom. Until we meet again. Peace.
All right. Peace.